All right, everybody. I think we're about ready to dive in. I got all the stream stuff set up. Got it out on Discord, Facebook, Twitter. So what are we doing here today? Well, what's up, Babylonia? We're gonna dive into Rogue Trader this morning, which I did a first impressions video of the other day. This is the game that I'm going to be playing throughout the month of December, and like Baldur's Gate 3, I'm starting to do R&D for this game. So they have an early access. I went ahead and picked it up. It was like 40 bucks, I think. Um, it's in the beta right now, so a lot of the stuff's not in, but it's enough is there that I could start learning because I don't know enough about the Warhammer universe. And the good thing is like they have a ton of the lore stuff's already in game. They're missing some of the classes and abilities and some of the other stuff, but that's all coming with a full launch in December. So in the meantime, I'm gonna start to do a discovery series where I'm learning Rogue Trader, I'm learning the lore of Warhammer, and getting ready for the launch. Because once it happens, that's like December, I think 2nd or something. I'm gonna play it on the Xbox, so the early access is only on the PC. So I figured, what the hell, I can use the PC for 2 months of R&D and prep videos, and then I can actually sink my teeth into December. So yet something else that I'm weaving into the mix. But this isn't gonna be. This will probably only be like once a week right now, maybe twice. Kind of depends on what we're doing. I'm still wrapping up Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield, Cyberpunk. Doing a first impressions series for Lamplighters League right now. All that's going to keep me busy till the end of October, at the very least. And then we've got Forza Motorsports coming. I think in like 5 days or a week or something like that. I'll definitely be playing that game and probably streaming some of that. Um, and then there's a couple. I think there's a couple of other games that are coming in November on Game Pass, but they're not like big releases. They're just things that I might go do first impression videos on. Um, but this one I know is going to take a lot of time because Owlcat games traditionally are like Baldur's Gate games. They take, they're going to give you 150, 200 hours of entertainment if you want it. So we're going to dive in a little bit. This is not optimized yet for the. Switch this over here. Okay, that was an abrupting, jarring jolt. I apologize. The client does not let you continue the music even when you're tabbed out of the game. So as soon as I tabbed in, it was like music. Having played both Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, both of those games were 100-hour experiences. So I'm very interested to see what Rogue Trader is going to bring to the table. The first impressions thing I did the other day was pretty cool. I will probably do like a full playthrough of whatever's available in this beta, just to learn things. But no rush. I gotta learn it, man. I love sci-fi, so I'm really looking forward to finally actually learning a little bit about Warhammer. That's how I learned about Pathfinder, was from the Owlcat games. I knew nothing about Pathfinder before that. Other than that, it was a spin-off of 3.5 edition D&D. I never played it. I like the music. Good morning, good morning. Let's go ahead and get a screenshot of this. I'm gonna put that in. Oh, hang on, All right, so it put us back in there real quick. Hang on, I gotta tab out for a minute. What's up, Pablo? To you and Babylonia and everyone else, good morning. And good afternoon. All right, let's see if that screenshot saved. It did. Save. Warhammer 1. Screenshots for the win. So this is formation. So this is how you can... There we go. It didn't show up in the... Hang on. I gotta move this away from that, that text bar is getting in the way. That's a bug for sure. That's a UI bug. There we go. Now I can actually click on something. So this is where you can do your traditional... It doesn't look like I could do a freeform formation yet, though. I can only pick their preordained ones. But you know what I'm seeing right here, guys? I'm seeing a 6-person party system. Oh, I'm definitely still playing Starfield. I actually just played last night. Or was it yesterday afternoon? Might have been yesterday afternoon. And I pushed a video out this morning, actually. About an hour, maybe 2 hours ago, a Starfield video went live. Alright, see you, Babylonia. Have fun with the errands, man. But, I mean, I told everybody when I first started, like, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, and Starfield. Those are games that are going to take me to the end of the year to complete. I have way too many things going on. I can't do just one game for 300 hours. That's I got lots of other stuff I got to do. But I would say I'm probably going to ignore, for my Starfield playthrough, I'm probably going to ignore some of the faction missions on my first playthrough and do those next time through, because I can do full series around those. I'm getting deeper into the Constellation storyline now, so it's like temple grinds and stuff, which is interesting. So it's very cool to see where that storyline's going to go. Baldur's Gate 3, I'm getting ready to go into the House of Hope, which is Renfail's house, and go steal something from him. So I'm starting to treat those like just giant episodes where I can go in and play for 3 hours once or twice a week. Starfield's once or twice a week, Baldur's Gate's once or twice a week, Cyberpunk 27's once or twice a week, and then in between that I'm doing all my movie reviews and film reviews and first impressions, trying things out like Lamplighters Lane, Gotham Knights, this game. Lots of stuff to do. Let's save this formation. There we go. Now I can move him around. Alright, so the big thing for me was I wanted to go in here today, since I haven't played this game before, and I don't know that much about the Warhammer universe. One of the things I wanted to do today was start to go through and learn a little bit about things. So they've got, as an example, the Annals of the Imperium. I just kind of want to go through this a little bit and start to learn a little bit about this world. Because, you know, I could just go get a Warhammer Player's Handbook, but well, I've got this. Why do I need to go out and do that? So I've got this at my disposal. So there's just all sorts of fun stuff in here that I'd like to go through. So these are the Chronicles of the Coronis Expanse, the Annals of the Imperium, Forbidden Grimoire, and that's the Mechanical Glossary. Yeah, it's a lot easier when you're not doing content. There are days when I wish I could just do that, where I could just do... Like, Lamplighters League is only like 30 hours long. It would be great to just do like 3-4 days in a row and just do that game and get it done with. But I don't do that. I can't. Other people, you know, I think people who who are full-time streamers can do that because they're going to stream for 8 or 10 hours a day anyway. But then they have a team of content people behind them who like cut up the videos, do all their social media, and I'm still a one-man show, so I do what I can. Um, let's look at the Chronicles of the Coronis Expanse and see what this is all about. So we're being told about the Calixix sector right now. It's an imperial sector located in the Segmentum Obscurus next to the frontier region of the Coronis Expanse. The Calixis sector has many heavily populated important worlds, but it's a great distance from the Imperium's core sectors. First Imperial sector governor was Drusus. Calixis sector is now firmly bound to the frontier of the Coronis Expanse politically and logistically, since the only known route to the Expanse lies through the Coronis Passage, a stable but dangerous warp route that was established on the rimward border of the Calixis sector. Drusians are followers of the cult of Saint Drusus. They believe in continuing mankind's crusade and bringing new worlds into the Imperium's fold. They value asceticism, self-sacrifice, loyalty to the cause, and fearlessness. Explorators are tech priests. Hang on, I'm doing something real quick, guys. That music is way too loud. Oh, that's much better. 50% is much better. Where was I? Okay. Combine the roles of adventurers, warriors, and emissaries in the machine called Explorators. Possess enviable power and immense resources. They travel the galaxy on their Explorator fleets, commanding countless serfs, servitors, and adepts. Footfall. For road traders and their agents, Footfall has many uses beyond those of a simple port. So it's a void port. A notorious hotbed of vice trade and rogue trader intrigue. People come to Footfall to learn about competing interests, find an array of illegal circuses, gather new recruits, or participate in deadly intrigues. Casbalica mission. The Footfall chapter of one of the most successful crime syndicates in the Imperium of Man, founded in the Calixis sector. It's the Casbalica. Is it the Casbalica or the Casbalica or Casbaika? They deal in illicit goods for a cut of the profits. Specialty is the cold trade of forbidden Xeno artifacts. Ooh, why are Xeno artifacts banned? Why are they forbidden? The Coronis Expanse is a scattered, poorly explored region on the frontier of the Imperium, full of fearsome Xenos, treasure, heathen worlds, and the echoes of ancient doom. A scattered collection of a few Imperial colonies, the Coronis Expanse possesses virtually untapped natural wealth. Warp space is treacherous and unexplored, while rogue traders vie within one another for both known and hidden resources as they strive to build their protectorates. Pirate Xenos in the service of the Dark Lords terrorize the Expanse, eager to cast fear and destruction upon humanity. I think that whole says this looks like another game that you could take an education course on how to play it. Probably. Well, I don't think that it, not necessarily to play it, but if you want to understand the lore, there is books and books and books and books and worth. I mean, Warhammer's been around for 30, 40 years. So yeah, there's a lot of lore. A rogue trader is an imperial subject with a unique hereditary title, tasked with exploring and exploiting the still uncharted regions of the galaxy for the benefit of mankind. Rogue traders are hereditary imperial nobles, the bearers of a sacred warrant of trade that empowers them to roam these worlds of the galaxy that lie beyond imperial control or knowledge. They are free to decide how to react to alien cultures, ancient technologies, new planets, or worlds harboring long-forgotten human civilizations, and are first and foremost masters of their own fate. And then a warrant of the trade. The sacred Imperial relic document that affirms the preeminent rights of a rogue trader throughout the galaxy. The warrant grants not only permission to travel beyond the Imperium's borders, but license to deal with pirates, mutants, or Xenos if needed. Rogue traders use the warrant of trade to conquer or colonize newly discovered planets, to gain exclusive trade rights with newly discovered cultures, and to explore the galaxy beyond the Imperium's frontier. Well, frontiers, plural. So that's, I guess, in essence, that helps explain, to me anyway, as a brand new player. You know, I've seen a couple of the promotional videos and everything else that they've put out since they started doing this a couple years ago. But I haven't, you know, kept up to date with all the stuff that they've been doing to promote this game. And I know next to nothing about the world. So now I understand a little bit better what is a rogue trader, because that's what this game is all about. So in Pathfinder Kingmaker, you played someone who was getting recruited to be like the Baron. I can't remember what the title was that they gave you, but that the very first mission there matches what I've seen here from the first mission, which is you're one of a couple of recruits that could potentially earn this position as the leader of this area. And then part of the game after that is there's the RPG element, which is traditional CRPG stuff, and then the other is the kingdom management stuff. So in Kingmaker, you managed your kingdom there, and then in Wrath of the Righteous, you controlled the army. Now, you could turn that off in both of those games and only focus on the CRPG element. I don't know if that's the case here, or if they're... Because I've seen that you have a ship. Hang on. I saw this the other day. Yeah, so you have a ship here. I'm only like an hour into the game, so I'm sure there's a tutorial at some point. But you do have a ship, and you can deck it out with engine shields, Auspix armor, and weapons. And I know that I've seen space combat, so if I had to guess, the ship component is going to be part like the campaign management. So you as the rogue trader, that's your kingdom. That's the kingdom management part. Is as a rogue trader, you're managing this little empire of trade. So that's cool. That's a good overview to help me understand, you know, what is rogue trader. What is a rogue trader in the Warhammer universe? Which is why I'm doing this stream, is because I want to be able to research and learn about these bits and pieces. Because I need to know more about Warhammer before I start to play this in December. Chronicles of the Cronus Expanse. Matter of fact, you know what? This is probably a good screenshot to take. Take that whole says, I couldn't take on multiple complex planes. One is a headache inducing enough. Well, I will say one thing that it's good for is it's a mental workout. So keeps the mind sharp. It's important to find something that keeps the mind ping-ponging. Okay, so that's the Chronicles of the Cronus Expanse. So that's an episode that I can do. What is the Forbidden Grimoire? Oh my, there's a lot. I'm not going to read through the Annals of the Imperium on stream. That's a ton of information. What is the Forbidden Grimoire? Alright, so I'm assuming that the Forbidden Grimoire is like stuff that is, you know, it's the enemies of the Imperium, maybe? We're about to find out. That's why reading this for the first time, I have no idea. The Aldari, an ancient and highly advanced alien race that once dominated the galaxy. Aeons ago, the Aldari divided into different factions and split away into distant parts of the galaxy. Even though they are small in number, the Aldari remain a significant force due to their advanced technology, devious minds, and innate psychic abilities. Psychics. Archaeotech, incredibly rare and powerful technology from the ancient age of humanity. Archaeotech is often recovered in frontier regions of the galaxy. While Adeptus Mechanicus is particularly interested in the recovery of such ancient technology and considers all such devices sacred artifacts, some Archaeotech can also be considered forbidden and even heretical. Why? Anytime someone tries to label something as heretical, I immediately want to know more about it. Because, no, that's not how it works. It's one of the things I loved about Silo, watching that show on Apple TV I think this was early this year, was the endless pursuit of knowledge. And when somebody calls something heretical or forbidden, of course I'm going to want it more. Okay, how do I pronounce this? Astronomicon? Astronomicon, perhaps. This psychic beacon that helps navigators triangulate a course for their void ships through the warp. The Emperor himself projects the Astronomicon? How do I pronounce that? Astronomicon? It's probably Astronomicon. Astronomicon? Let's try Astronomicon. From the Golden Throne on Holy Terra, the homeworld of humanity. Over 1,000 psychers, my lips are like, what? Over 1,000 psychers are sacrificed every standard day to sustain the Emperor's psychic presence in the warp. What the hell? Over 1,000 people are sacrificed every day to sustain the Emperor's psychic presence? That's creepy as fuck. The Asurani, a branch of the Aldari race that inhabits planetoid-sized vessels known as craft worlds. The children of Asurion are defined as a culture by their pursuit of the Suryani path. This philosophy teaches them how to balance their potent minds and strive for constructive goals rather than falling into the immoral pursuit of pleasure and selfishness. So it's a cult? Chaos. What's up? A malign metaphysical force composed of psychic energy that exists in an alternate dimension, the warp. The gods of chaos are monstrous beings weaved from mortal obsessions and fears. These ancient entities of unimaginable power and infinite malice endlessly seek to burst into real space and lay ruin to the real space and its inhabitants. Craft World is a vast planetoid-sized, that's huge, spacecraft populated by the Eldari of the Asuryani faction. These constructs have the resources and power to conquer entire worlds and star systems. These mammoth constructs avoid warp travel, relying on the travel through the mysterious realms of the Webway. Cool, it's going to tell me what the Webway is here in a minute. Matter of fact, let's go read that. Webway is an extra-dimensional space, also known as the Labyrinth Dimension, with links to worlds, sectors, and stars from one end of the galaxy to the other. You guys remember in sounds like the Aztec civilization survived, so dig that hold? Yeah. Raymond Feist's Riftworld saga. Pug goes into those what do you call it? It's like they go upstairs and there's a long hallway with doorways off of it. And then the game, we're playing Lamplighters League right now, and they mentioned the tower that you can go into that has hallways that connect to all these it's the same concept, an extra-dimensional space. Okay. The Eldari prefer this sophisticated and mysterious method of travel across the stars using special gates to access the network. Yet nowadays, the Webway has become a dark labyrinth of tunnels and portals where a wrong turn or pathway can lead a traveler to the doom. Kind of like the ways in the Wheel of Time. They fall into ruin. The Drakari are a sadistic branch of the Eldari race that revels in piracy, violence, and torture, which allows them to feed upon the psychic residue of their victims' suffering. They are the living embodiment of all that is wanton and cruel in the Eldari species. Highly intelligent and devious to the point of obsession, Drakari are forsaken and corrupt Xenos that eternally thirst for the psychic energy of the anguish and torment of other thinking beings in order to save their own souls. That's also extremely creepy. A psyker is an individual of any intelligent species who possesses some degree of psychic ability or powers. They draw their powers from extra-dimensional realm known as the Warp. As such, psychers, particularly human ones, are often at risk of possession. Oh ho 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 ho! By demonic entities, insanity, and ultimate corruption by the ruinous powers. So does that mean that if I play a psyker, it says everyone is at risk of ultimate corruption? But does that mean that it's fated? Like, is it an actual, like, if I am a psyker, that's the only fate I have in front of me? Am I not allowed to change that fate? Like, why would I use power if I knew that the risk was, you know, ultimate corruption and obliteration at the end of it? Like, that sounds a little... You know, if I was an intelligent person, why would I pursue that path? Unless, in this world, they've talked about how there's this fanatical obsession by the Psychers, and like 1,000 of them die every day to support the God Emperor's psyche in space. Is maybe that just their brainwashing at play, where it's like, well, we're going to die anyway, so we might as well just sacrifice ourselves to the Emperor at the height of our powers for the good of the cause. That sounds kind of crazy if that's the case. Why would I want to play a Psyker? I don't know that I could roleplay that character. The Warp is an alternate dimension of pure energy and madness, existing as a mirror to real space, also known as the Immaterium, the Empyrean, the Ether, the Sea of Souls, or Warp Space. It is the source of all psychic powers and the home dimension of the powerful entities known as the Chaos Gods and their respective demons. The Warp also functions as the medium for faster-than-light interstellar travel for humanity and is rumored by many species to be the final resting place of the spirits of the dead. So it's like... That sounds like an exceptionally... And I think this is part of the... Isn't this part of the Warhammer, like, ethos, is that it's all based on, like, everything is super, 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 super risky? And like the void space and the demons, and it's like a constant... I don't know enough about Warhammer. I know there's a science fiction version and I know there's a fantasy version. That's about the limit. And I know a little... I've heard about Space Marines, and I've heard that the void is like this bad place, but that they travel through it. So it sounds like their hyperspace is super fucking dangerous. They also use hyperspace energy to fuel their magics. And it's also the resting place of the dead, and it's where all the Chaos Gods and their demons live. So it's like, wow. Alright. Xenos, a term used within the Imperium to refer to aliens. Xenos threats beyond number surround the Imperium on every side. Most threatening by far are the Xenos species whose territorial empires span star systems and whose borders clash violently with those of the Imperium. Rogue traders and a few other individuals have the authority to make peaceful contact with them for trade, temporary alliance, or even to hire them as mercenaries. But why is everyone else prohibited? Why are only certain people given the right to do stuff with them? And I lost my pen as I was sitting here. So I have more questions than answers now by the end of this. There's my pen. I dropped it. So that's the Forbidden Grimoire section. I need to know more. Tell me more, tell me more. Well, cool beans. Let's maybe play a little bit. But before we do, hang on a second. We're gonna tab out. Coldson says, just as you said, here it is. Yes, I said I was gonna be doing something special today. Something special. A little bit of R&D. Someone just said CD Projekt Red knew what they were doing when they designed Pan Am, and I'm like, yes, they absolutely did. I will 100% do the Pan Am romantic relationship every single time through CD Projekt Red. I wish Judy, but Judy's only, I can't play female avatars, and Judy's only responsive to a female avatar, so I'm just like, I'll watch people play Judy, watch people play through and get Judy as a romance option, but I won't, so. All right, let's see. I'm a little out of breath, guys. Sorry, I was doing some squats. Whew. Demi Moore, Demi Moore. All right. 41. We're going to play a little bit now, actually. We're going to progress this a little bit, see if we can't learn any more. Oh, man, I hate the fact that I have to hold down the middle mouse button. I wish I could turn that to the right mouse button. That's why I can't wait to play this on the controller, because I can actually get rid of this horrific. Whoever thought that putting the middle turn, like the middle mouse button, having to hold that to turn, to pan the camera, that is a horrific design decision. Horrific design decision. That was the first thing I changed over in Baldur's Gate 3 was that keybind. Let me double check that I can't redo keybinds in this game. Because that's super annoying. Dun, 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 dun. Cargo management, screenshots. Can I change that to F12? Unless I just got rid of something else. I don't know what else might have been on F12. Action bar. Abilities. Nah, man, I don't see, like... that, but that's only on the, I'm just gonna double check. Apparently... no. Apparently you can't rebind it. Well, that kind of sucks. I think we had a quest, didn't we? By the right of blood. Rogue Traeger Theodora von Valenicus desires to personally meet with the person. I already did that. Yeah. The officer's deck is under attack by an unknown enemy, yet Arch-Militant Mort has left to clear the way to the elevator leading to the upper decks. He's not returned yet, so it's time to find out what has caused the delay. Officer's deck. We're at the upper deck right now. Oh god, that's horrific having to click that. Where did he just go? I'm T-posing. This is awesome. Did you guys see that T-pose across the environment? Ha ha ha! Beta for the win. Oh, something's going on over there. Hang on. How do I get over there? Oh, is this a bridge I have to lower? Hold up. The massive golden structure never starts moving for a moment. Light bounces off. Okay, I can't do anything with it. So how do I drop that bridge? Maybe I just gotta go down and around. Well, I can't go down there. Can't go down there though. Target too far, and it literally won't let me go down. Okay. Maybe I'm just supposed to witness. Conrad Voigtver. Sighs of relief as sees you. Thank Providence you are alive and well. Digital Hell says, didn't know Warhammer was a turn-based game. Always assumed it was an FPS like Quake. No, well, there are. There are, like, all sorts of different... I literally have on my Xbox right now. And I already tried it on the PC, but the performance was shit. Because I have an older computer. Darktide, I think is what it's called. It just came out this year, or late last year. But it's a 4-person co-op shooter. And it's set in the sci-fi version of Warhammer. But there's FPS ones, there's RTS ones. There's like 15, 20 Warhammer games that come out every year. I've never played any of them. This is the first year that I'm getting into playing some of them. But yeah, there's turn-based versions, there's the RTS, there's FPS, there's all sorts of different styles of Warhammer games. And I guess they've been coming out for years. Just never got into them. Alright. Here's Mort. The moment we finish chasing the riffraff, you show up. Always up at the fighting stand, you can just set your chrono by it. Looks pointedly away from the Archmilitant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. The Archmilitant looks back at you. What, did the Lord Commander send us chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away. Pulls the Vox from his belt and hurriedly reports the situation. Theodora. What is happening on my ship? Report in. I really hope they voice over this stuff, guys, because I am not going to want to have to sit here and narrate 100% of this when this game goes live. I just don't have... That'll kill my vocals. To have to do this on top of talking to people, it's just not going to be possible. Alright, no word from the Engineerium. Communications cut off completely. Scattered reports from the middle decks. Only voxcasts from the lower decks are heretical gibberish. The madmen have already reached the officers' decks, which suggests that this outrage was planned, perhaps as an organized mutiny. Oh wow, look at the options. If this is a case of warp madness, then the situation is dire. Warp madness, that sounds terrible. Alright, we need to provide immediate assistance to those in the middle decks. Perhaps we might stop this from spreading. Alright, first we need to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both. Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Where is Edelthrad? And a psyker aboard a ship that is potentially assaulted by warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen. He was on Treasure Missile Deck 18. Alright, so Conrad's like, Deck 18, it's pretty dangerous in there. I could use some help. Guess what we're doing? I'm gonna get my first party member here, probably. I'll shoot everything in my power. I'll have your heads if you fail. Move out. Not a nice lady. Oh, speaking of which, I just bought that this morning. I think we're playing tonight. I think. But they've got a lot of stuff. They've got a turkey hunt to do tonight, and they've got chores. But my brother and I literally have been in voice messages all morning with each other. But I bought my DLC like, I don't know, a couple hours ago. Downloaded it. It was only like a 350 megabyte download. But if we start tonight, I'll record the first episode tonight. I might not produce it until the following weekend. I might save that as one of the things that airs while Chris and I are offline for our anniversary. But we should be playing tonight. Alright, I'll make do. Lead the way. With a pop and sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you are consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. Promised you a special destiny, Renfail. It's time to fulfill it. Something's going down. I shouldn't have to do too much narration in that D&D thing though, because it's I think it's all. I don't know if it's voiced or not, actually. It's a good point. Might not be. Because traditionally they do the row, 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 row. But it might be a narrative adventure. I don't know yet. It says it has about 10 hours of content, so. Alright. You two-faced scum, you're the one behind this mayhem. Oh yeah. He needs me here for my blood. Either voluntarily or he'll squeeze it himself. Okay, this is the warrant chamber. Beyond the gate lies a relic. The warrant of trade. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the sentinel, which will only open to a true heir of the dynasty, sorry. Ooh, I can insult him. What is it, inbred? Your blood too thin for the sentinel? The sentinel refused to submit to me, but you can help after all. Isn't that what family is for? Oh, I have coercion. What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy, you sordid, wretched Grok seed? Something, either your tone or your venomous words, throws Conrad off for a moment, as hateful fury blazes from beneath the mask of a cold professional. Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness, Theodorus cur? Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Tch, I know this delusion, but thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. He hesitates for a second and then produces a strange weapon. A blade without a handle that shimmers blue in the light. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench von Valancius watch as I erase this entire dynasty chronicle, and I commit the fate of the bloodline into the hands of the warp gods. And you, Renfail, will be one of the instruments by which I accomplish this righteous act. Ooh, shiznethel! Your character's skills affect the results of their actions. Successful kill check. Okay, I'm familiar with the process. The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to drown your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo to each other, drowning out your other thoughts, replacing them with a single urge. Go to the gate. Alright, I've got a willpower thing here of 30. I have a 60% chance to succeed. I failed! The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you step towards the gates looming in the center of the chamber. Shit. Sorry everybody, I'm about to unleash horrible, horrible doom on the world. In the gateway arch you see a cogitator with human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torch twitches. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton, created from a lobotomized human being. It turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Tech use. Examine the device. Success. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used in the material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect you are looking at a technological relic known as an archaeotech. The servitor begins to move, and with the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. Its mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim moonlight. Moonlight? Why am I inventing moonlight? Just the dim light. The vid screen is to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. It's the Matrix. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Voitvard wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Look for anything that can be used as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon, but your search is in vain. The chamber and a room is completely empty and in perfect working condition, nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rebar in sight. Examine the sentinel. Looks different from the ones you're used to. Copper thread stitches its skin, the joints replaced by metal hinges. It seems that the creators of this one did everything in the result of so that the result of their work would serve much longer than traditional working automatons. Alright, look back. Oh, this guy's telling me. I suggest you hurry. Place my hand inside. I got no choice. Yep. It's taking my blood. Vid screen flickers to life. Levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the sentinel? The cogitator? A fragment of your Muri mind? Whatever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your hand and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm. Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol. Oh, psychic Psychic powers! Surprise, motherfucker! Oh, he just bailed. Oh, there's some performance issues right there. Did you guys see all that? It just started chopping all of a sudden. Did it? It hasn't recovered yet? That's a performance issue, for sure. Holy shit, whatever just happened in the game freaked out my OBS. Well, we're going to tab out for a minute. Are we back? There's something, like, I literally tabbed out and but check that shit out. There's an optimization issue going on because the doors just started going chunk, 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 chunk. And the whole everything, oh yeah, it's back to being like, there's something going on with the fire effects here that's just freaking OBS out. Oh, well, let's maybe get away from the fire. That's hilarious. The enormous gates match the importance of the thing to protect. They're made of metal and look impregnable. Can I make that bigger? I guess it's as big as I can make it. I should quick save. Not enough media blends futuristic and mythical. I really we did Starfinder March, April, February, March, April, something like that. We did a, I think it was like 10 or 12 episodes. We did myself, Babylonia, Mujin, and Gila. We did an actual play session. We did the very first adventure module that they have available, that Paizo has available for Starfinder. It was a lot of fun because that blends, like, it's science. It's not science fiction per se. It's more like science magic fiction. You know, it's a weird science fiction with mysticism, with magic and technology. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade and bestow upon them and their dynasty great mission to be the paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity. Oh my god, that's going so fast I can't keep up with it. Sorry, guys. That needs to be slowed way down or have its own voiceover or something. Their servo's skulls creaking gradually turns in incomprehensible words. Escort the child of the house to safety. Alright. I need to contact somebody, preferably Theodora. Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection. In place of the mechanical screeching, the servo skull's Vox projects the voice of Theodora von Valancius. Distorted and ridden with static, it's still recognizable beyond a doubt. Voxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator's Sanctum. Trying to contact the bridge. Regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head. Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection. Alright. I need a weapon. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by. Alright. Are you the warden? Oh, it's a personal escort of the child of the house and by means of communicating with rogue trader subjects. Mobile unit standing by. Let's go then. Middle and upper decks, assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured. The plot thickens, man. So I can seal the chamber. Alright. Nobody must reach the warrant. A sample order this signal can lock the chamber. Okay. Abelard has just shown up. He's lost some of his former polish. He's sweating. One of his sleeve coats is torn and soaked with blood. That despite all of this, and despite his heavy breathing, he stands firm and his gaze is demanding, although somewhat surprised. Alright, he surveys the carnage. His brow furrows and he places a hand on his weapon. Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this? I'm going to tell him. Conrad Voigter is a traitor. When we parted ways in the office, Zeki stunned me somehow and brought me here. What? He spoke about defiling the warrant with some ritual and serving the gods of the warp. Serving gods of the warp? He's a heretic. Oh, Voigter, you void rat. This madness and this mutiny is likely his doing, no doubt. He openly admitted so. Grox seed. What the hell is Grox? They keep mentioning Grox. A large, half-domesticated reptile widespread in the Imperium. Grox are most commonly bred as livestock or beast of burden. Servo skull sounds awesome. It does. By the way, everybody, I'm going to apologize in advance for whatever's going on with the it's the fire. It's only happened once I got into the fire area in this game. There's an optimization issue because this is their beta and it's interfering with OBS, so it's going to be a little choppy for a minute. Okay. At least you're alive and well. Look forward to Cartman instead of this disaster. He examines you critically. I treat your wounds. I have a medical kit. For the love of throne. Now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without a means of self-defense. Here, he hands you a weapon. I got a laser gun, a flak chest plate, and a med kit. Look at that. As soon as the fire went away, yeah, look at that. It's back to normal now. That's a little crazy. Like, it's literally something going on with the fire VFX. Encyclopedia. After falling into a trap or receiving damage that exceeds 50% of their total wounds within one round, the character receives injuries. Injuries reduce a character's stats, and if 3 or more injuries accumulate, the character will get trauma instead of a stack of injuries. Excuse me. The number of injuries that cause trauma may vary depending on the difficulty of the game. Also, characters get trauma if they completely lose health in battle. I remember that. Is that Pillars of Eternity? Did the first 2 games do it that way? I think so as well. If you fall completely, if you completely lose health in battle, you get a trauma applied. Okay. Okay. Traps or any damage that exceeds 50% of the total wounds in one round. Traumas reduce characters' stats and grant an additional negative effect. If fresh injuries are not treated within 5 rounds, they become old injuries. This is complex. I love it. Use a med kit to restore wounds and heal injuries in and out of combat. After the combat, the wounds of all members are restored automatically, but the received injuries remain, which can be cured with the use of a med kit. Old injuries can also be removed with a med kit, but require an additional medica check. Oh wow, okay. Okay, traumas can only be healed in the rogue trader's quarters on the void ship. That's a pretty intense system, to be honest with you. So that's the tutorial on medikits, right? Essentially. That's crazy. The camera just like unfocused from my face. There we go. So that's at the wounds, trauma, and medikits. So that's a tutorial. I'll need to, I'm timestamping this to also go cut it out as its own video, but also to remind myself We go into the encyclopedia. That's crazy, man. This is so complex. Yeah, it's injuries and traumas. Okay, you've received a new item. To open the inventory, press I or click on the bag icon on the right side of the screen. Weapons, armor, and other items can be equipped. Medikits can be used to replenish wounds and heal injuries. So if I hover over this, I have an old wound now, a stack of 1 out of 5. An injury which wasn't healed in time can be healed by a medikit, but will require an additional medikit skill check. Too many injuries reduce resolve and cause a trauma. Well, I don't want to cause a trauma. So let's go ahead and open the inventory. So I can use it from here. Hang on. I don't need an inventory. I don't need a tutorial right now on that. Medikit. How do I use it? It says I can't equip it, right? Can't be equipped with this character, but I can use? It's not letting me use it. Do I need to drag it to a hotbar? Well, I'll equip the weapon. I can't use the med kit. The medikit, sorry, the medikit. It's cargo manager, void ship management. Offered medical assistance.
I'm at your service.
Oh, hang on. Can he use it? Hold that thought. He can use it. Equip. Hold on. So I think maybe I had to have a character who could use it. I gotta get away from that fire, guys. Hold up. I gotta get away from that fire. That's ridiculous. Get me out of here real quick. Where are we at? No. Yeah, we're not going anywhere, bro. Oh, he's not wanting to let me move until he heals my wounds. But that fire VFX is creating all sorts of havoc. Alright. So I can use him to click on my character. And, okay. So, I couldn't equip it, but he could. So you have to have a character who has a relevant skill. Alright, you got errands to run. Dig that hole. See you next time. Oh, you took off the next 3 days? Nice. Well, I'll be here streaming daily as normal. Probably do some Baldur's Gate 3 either Saturday or Sunday. Alright, apparently I'm ready for the trials. Lower decks are teeming with heretics. But that's not the worst. There are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. Alright. Lead the way. A wave of static erupts. To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor, fight the heresy! The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle. Onward.
The Emperor is with us.
I'll turn you into corpse starch.
Alright. Combat begins with round 0. You cannot take action. Cannot attack or take action, but I can take advantageous positions. During round 0, you move each character in your party up to their maximum move points, but no closer than 1 cell to the opponent, which distances vary in combat. It's only available if you're ambushed by enemies. Alright. I'm familiar with action points. To read the full description of an ability, right-click on its icon. Alright. Oh, so I don't need to be up close. If I move away, am I going to provoke an attack of opportunity? From 2 different people, I totally am. Nope, cancel that. How do I cancel? Okay, there we go. Man, so I didn't know that before I started this combat round, that I can't shoot if I'm up close and personal as a ranged character. Yeah, it looks awesome, Cold Sun. Other than the performance stuff, I wish I could figure out what's causing that. Other than the fire, and I have no idea how to make it not do that. Because it's only when I have the fire on screen. Because the moment I have the fire off screen, we're back to being normal. So there's definitely some sort of performance thing. But it's not the game, it's like, it's OBS is freaking out about something. Probably just a sign of my computer being old, which is another reason I'll be playing this on the Xbox. Well, I'm gonna move. I'll provoke an attack, but I have no choice. Thankfully, I dodged both. All right, burst fire. I can get 4 of these guys.
You could do worse, but not by much.
Let's do it again. Friendly fire. Oh, I totally didn't pay attention to friendly fire until I'd already shot them all down. Oh no! Ha ha ha! I'm learning something every time now. How do I go to the next character? Melee weapons, making it possible for enemies with ranged weapon to attack at close range, unless it's pistols or shotguns. Gosh darn it! Why didn't they tell me at the beginning? Totally need to heal myself, but that's gonna take a round.
Oh,
It's 2 action points.
finest. At your beck and call. I took care of this one. Just a minor setback.
I missed. So you have to pay attention to friendly fire. That's gonna be tricky. Slash all creatures. That's an area effect.
One fewer target.
All right. I'm not sure how close it is to Warhammer rules, to be honest with you. I have no idea. Click. Fall to inventory.
Marching off.
Let's quick save. Oh, so there's whole sections of the ship. Here is a map of the Void ship, which consists of several parts between which you can move. Some parts are not yet available, but over time your character will be able to visit them. Click the left mouse button on the active part of the Void ship to move there. Who is this? Adira. The woman before you whips around and gazes straight at you, her eyes glowing with otherworldly light. Master Renfail, watch your head. Huh. Voices are so loud I can't even hear myself think. This is Idris Tlass, personal psyker and diviner of her ladyship. Okay. She's suffering effects of the warp. The entity in your consciousness shrivels and shrinks, clawing in deeper, trying to hide from the seer standing before you. Alright, so she's a psyker. Theodore's on the comms. We're trying to do a counterattack. Okay. Deal with what's happening here. Voices called to me. Chief engineer is dead. Alright. What's up, Nuclear? You've been introducing me to some pretty cool games lately. My poor backlog. Yeah, dude, it's... There's too much going on. Alright, let's go see the navigator. Crippled state of things suggests a navigator around, one who's crippled or yet at death's door but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces yet, his third eye must be closed, at worst a little roughed up. So, let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive. Alright, several characters. To select one of them, click on their portrait. To select several, hold on the location. Select all at once. Also, you can F1, right? Or is it Alt F1? It's Alt.
Did I mention that my
It's
whispers
Alt.
tell me jokes? Jokes that, once said aloud, make your eyes bleed and blood curdle. Talk about black comedy.
Oh, I can level up too right now. Hang on. How do I level up, though? Oh, by the way, can I check the settings here real quick? I wonder if I can do something to help out the performance. Because we're in borderless mode. Lock mouse inside window. Probably a good idea. I'd love to figure out what is causing the fire to go freak out. Alright, that'll help. Now we're locked in the frame. Okay. C? Where do I level up at? I've got the level up symbol, but I don't know how to level up the character. Is that what this means? Upgrade marksman doctrine? What's the difference between a like we had the tier 1 doctrines and are these like subclasses? Bulwark. The Vanguard attack. I don't know what half this shit means. Jafsy says might be the Doctrines tab. Yeah, it kind of looks that way because it's asking me to either upgrade. I don't know if I can click one of these. Like, I don't understand that, because when I started off, it had me click, you know, a doctrine, which I'm assuming is like a class. But then they've got this like tier 2 ones down here, like. Because right now I'm a marksman, right? Can I go Vanguard, like, now? Or does that wait? Huh. Alright, upgrade marksman. Now, let's just click this. Shot on the run, which I already have. What's click next? I don't know. I have that thing on my character that shows that I can level something up. JFC says you can't choose a new specialization before you max the one you already have or something like that. Yeah, there's no tutorial that like tells me. Oh, hold up. Now it's like. Yes, so. Hang on, I may have just figured this out. So I don't know that I can take this yet for some odd reason. So I don't know why. That's a tomorrow problem. But for now, to basically to move this in the direction around the wheel, I can't choose anything else. I have to like choose this, go to next, and then within this, I have these things. Awareness. Well, I thought I had it figured out. Apparently I did not. Or are the thumbs up you're clicking? Hold up. Reset. They need a tutorial on this. They really do. So essentially I'm saying I want to take shot on the run. I click next. It's moving me to this, and then I can click one of these things to assign it. It says choose a skill. So I'm essentially supposed to choose a skill here that I want to level up. I could take demolition to 50, awareness to 55, or why can't I choose two of the same one? And then here I choose an ability. Okay. Thumbs up are recommended for your spec. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and get demolition up. What was demolition for? Yes. Next. And then here, let's see, controlled shot. The marksman and their allies will automatically dodge the next marksman's shot. So is that to avoid friendly fire? Revel in slaughter. Till the marksman gains plus 10 BS. All of these things until the end of combat. The ability is available after killing 3 enemies. The kill counter is not reset between the rounds. Or I can go to dash. You can immediately dash in a selected direction, spending all movement points. Does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Allows to dash through obstacles, enemies and allies, but not through obstacles. I'm taking that for sure because that's like in D&D the disengage. That's huge for the rogues. Okay. And then you go to the summary and you can click apply selections. Okay. So it makes a little more sense now that I understand what's going on. Because I know nothing about this game yet, so that's what the R&D is for. It's learning. All right, so to do this, we're going to upgrade the fighter doctrine right away. He gets to choose one of these. Endure, sworn enemy, reckless strike. Ooh, however, so this is an interesting thing. So this is it's like an AoE, but every enemy who survives the attack enhanced by this ability attacks the fighter back, including creatures with ranged weapons. So there's a pro and con to that. Interesting. What does endure? Until the fighter's next turn, all income damage is reduced. No. But I gain temporary wounds. No thanks. I think I'm going to go with sworn enemy. That sounds kind of interesting. You mark a target gaining armor and strength damage on melee attacks against the target. And if he attacks me during this round, I gain an action point. What is athletics? Base stat is toughness. All right. Okay. So that's how you essentially level up. Okay. All right. I think I got it now. It's interesting. All right, let's quick save. By the way, do we have any more gear that we can apply? All right, she can use one of these. He can use the other one. She has a psychic staff. He has a chain sword. And I have a laser gun. Perfect. Is there anything over here? Probably not, but let's just double check. Look at the T-pose. That's awesome. Definitely wonkiness. A locked door. All right. I think we're going through this door. Destroy the field. Don't keep our master waiting. Jafsy says would recommend to have a melee weapon with a sidearm on the second weapon slot. So you can have multiple weapon sets? You can. Thank you for that recommendation. That's a great recommendation. Thank you. Didn't even think about that. By the way, what is this? Flak chest plate. Oh yeah, I should totally equip that too. Oh, it changed the look of my character too. Hell yeah. Check that shit out. Oh, I can't unequip it? Okay, I have to double click. So that's the normal look of the character. I can dig it. I can dig it. And that's my personal skull device following me around. Cool beans. Unless you're mistaken, you can use gun and pistol on the same weapon tab. Now you got me going. I'm looking at that too. This one looks like it's taking up both though, because it's two-handed. But I bet over here, yeah. So he could use that on the same. Okay. Well, thanks for that, because that actually, yeah, I can have a sword in one hand and pistol. Okay, man. All right. So now I want to create like a space pirateer, because that's one of the things I loved about the pirate stuff that you could do in Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, was you could have a rapier in your main hand and a pistol in the offhand, or a pistol in the main hand and a rapier in the offhand, and you could have that swashbuckling pirateer who's firing a flintlock pistol and stabbing people with a rapier or a saber at the same time. That's really cool. All right.
Close ranks!
Erdira is a psyker and an adept. She's able to study opponents, identify their weaknesses, and her abilities allow her to do damage to them. She can also buff allies and weaken enemies. Alright, so we've got forewarning, one friendly creature within a 10-cell radius. Able to see the potential outcomes and dangers. You increase their dodge and parry. Well, let's give that to Renfail.
do.
Boom. And then all enemies I can study.
Anything else?
Alright, and then... Alright. Now she can also expose weakness. It removes one stack of clue from the target to decrease its stuff. Or I could do... It's a melee attack, so I guess I can do this on somebody. Alright, so she's done everything she can do. Alright. Is there no dash ability or anything?
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
I'm not going to be able to get to that one, am I? But I can get to this one.
Victory is imminent.
Dude, nicely done, sir.
I'd rather not.
Target too far. Alright. But I can shoot.
I will do my duty.
Oh, that was a bad pistol burst, bro. Like, pew. Japsy said they can't wait to get plasma weapons. Dude, this is pretty awesome so far. I'll probably release this as like my exploring combat episode, like learning combat for the first time. Pretty cool. Alright, so we've done stuff with him. Now we can move on to the next character. Well, it's their turn now, so. Use the hologram to gauge the efficiency of your actions in combat. Click left mouse on the battlefield to place your hologram, select an ability or a single shot to see the experience. Using that? That makes no sense to me. So you're placing it there. And then what? Oh, I see. But can you turn? Huh. How do I get rid of it? Oh, like that. Okay, got it. Alright, got those two down. All combatants take actions in turns determined by an initiative roll. The order turns are displayed on the left side of the screen from bottom to top. The character at the very bottom goes first, the one that's above them, so on. Okay. Well, I think I'm done with my turn.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Okay. Psychic Shriek. Expose weakness. And then she's got this thing over here, Lightning Arc.
I'm not so sure.
She needs a line of sight to it. Alright, well, let's move up.
I know what is to come.
Line of sight this biznitch. Bam! That was kind of cool. Alright. Let's do...
That is not my
Available.
destiny.
Okay. So I think we're done with her for this turn. Alright, you can do your thing, buddy.
It will be done. Reduced to dust.
Sworn enemy. Brace for impact. Charge? No, I can't. Alright, let's move up. And pew pew this dude. Booyah! That was pretty cool. A little bit of a combat scenario there to get myself. I feel like that was a much better kind of tutorial than the first one they gave me, because this one I actually have multiple characters under my control, so it's giving me a taste of what it's going to be like when I have 6 people in my party, and I just love the fact that there's all the people. You can have all those members of your party. That was 136 combat. The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with the throne. You see pink parchment skin. That's creepy ass looking, man. Stretched between the seat and limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the 2 dark grill-like slits in its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, the 2 ordinary eyes, as well as the 3rd one that sits at the center of its forehead. I believe Master Vesperius lives. Vespiatus? The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp, which means we have a chance of leaving this place alive. Approach. The navigator stirs, barely able to lift its head and half open its normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of the 3rd eye and down its face, leaving behind a black trail. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the Vox grill at the adjacent bizarre chair. It is unclear how the navigator is able to produce human speech. Okay, we've got to get you out of that chair. Suddenly, the navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward, and falls back out of the seat, then thrusts forward again as its bones crack and its skin tears open. The fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than the wild impetuses, however. The mutant remains seated but leans as far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming 2 hideous, screaming mouth-like pits. Fall to your knees, mortal, and behold the final dawn! Yadira shrieks in terror. It came from beyond! This body is not his! Her scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator succumbing to its paroxysms of corruption. Its march thunders beyond the boundary of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriad of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me. The navigator continues to convulse violently, shrieking and cackling, but then his fit stops abruptly.
Run! Flee from this place while I still have the strength.
Alright. What do, Abelard? The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of a master helmsman if he's still alive, which is worth a shot. We gotta get to the bridge, but we're gonna need support. We gotta fight our way to the officer's deck and find Ethelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. Alright. That's a quick save moment. I'll be back. Oh, you can't see because there's a green screen. I'm totally like chewing on one of these. It's in a green wrapper, but it's chocolate mint chewy candies. So good. Oh, that was tasty. So I went out just to take a pee really quick. Turns out Chris just got home too. So all right, we finished all of that. Man, that was invigorating. Nice little candy. So, how do you find... I don't understand this map. Are those the corpses that we could loot? Yes, it is. Okay. All to inventory except... Oh, I did something. Trophy packed as cargo. I don't know what that means. Oh, so I guess you're choosing at the beginning of the loot. When you go to loot something, you're choosing to put it in your cargo. Cargoes consist of trophies found or purchased. Drag a trophy to remove it from your inventory, pack it into the cargo. You can withdraw usable trophies from your cargoes. Selling full cargoes increases reputation with the faction. So basically, if I stuff more ranged weapons in here, it's going to increase. Yeah, so now it's up to 15%. That's interesting. So, cargo list. So then from here, I could pull things back out if I wanted to. Okay, that makes total sense. All right, I understand how this works now. Well, let's keep it in my cargo for now, because then it's not going to take up space. So I'm assuming we need to go out. And which way, I don't know. Back to the door? Or this may be this door, because this was the door I couldn't use earlier. Locked door. Officer's deck, right? Yeah, I gotta go to the officer's deck, alright.
I'll warn you if I hear anything.
This also did the same thing. Baldur's Gate 3 did the same thing in early access. I got tons of optimization errors and it would lag out Streamlabs and stuff. But then when the launched game came out, I never had any issues with it. So I would assume once they finish their optimization passes, it'll be fine. But also, I'll be playing this in the Xbox, so it's not going to matter too much in a couple of months.
God, Emperor, move through me. Be fire in my heart.
So she's a badass. I like how we're watching this through like a security camera or something. Argenta. The white-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hands, and for a brief moment it seems she's not going to stop and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you. Sister Argenta! The sentinel's voice carries the weight of a command, and it seems to bring the warrior out of her trance. I am Renfail von Valancius, the Lord Captain's heir.